You sit down to study. You read the same sentence 5 times. It feels familiar. It feels like you're learning. But 2 hours later, it's gone. Almost like your brain deleted it. And here's what most people never realize. Memory is not about intelligence. It's not about having a better brain. In fact, your brain is designed to forget. From a survival perspective, remembering everything would be a disaster. Your brain constantly filters information and asks one simple question. Is this important enough to keep? If the answer is no, it gets erased. That's why rereading notes doesn't work very well. Highlighting pages doesn't work very well. And watching endless lectures often creates the illusion of learning without actual retention. Because your brain doesn't remember information simply because it saw it. It remembers information when it has to work for it. And that's where the first powerful technique comes in. Active recall. Most students study like this. Read, repeat, read again. But memory doesn't work like saving files on a computer. Memory is built through retrieval. When you force yourself to remember something without looking at your notes, your brain strengthens the neural pathways connected to that information. This is called active recall. Instead of reading a page 4 times, read it once, close the book, and ask yourself, what can I remember? Even if you only remember 20%, especially if you only remember 20%. Because that struggle is exactly what builds stronger memory. The harder retrieval feels, the stronger the memory becomes afterward. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Your brain remembers connections better than... Think about it. You probably remember song lyrics from years ago, yet you forget what you studied yesterday. Why? Because the brain loves patterns. Random facts disappear. Connected ideas survive. So instead of memorizing information as isolated pieces, connect it to something you already understand. For example, instead of thinking, a TP is the energy currency of the cell, think, a TP is the battery pack that powers cellular work. Now the information has meaning, and meaning creates memory. The more connections you build, the easier recall becomes. That's why stories, analogies, and visual images work so well. Your brain isn't a storage device, it's a connection machine. The next technique is responsible for helping students remember information for months instead of days. It's called spaced repetition. Here's the problem. Most forgetting happens within the first 24 hours after learning something. If you never revisit the information, your brain assumes it wasn't important, and it gets rid of it. But when you review information right before you're about to forget it, something powerful happens. The memory becomes stronger. A simple schedule looks like this. Learn on day 1. Review on day 2. Review again on day 4. Then day 7. Then day 14. Each review takes less time, but the memory lasts longer. This is why cramming feels productive but rarely works. Your brain remembers repetition over time, not repetition under pressure. Now let's talk about a technique that many top-performing students secretly use. The blurting method. And honestly, it feels almost unfair. Here's how it works. Study a topic for about 20 minutes, then close everything. Take out a blank sheet of paper and write down everything you can remember. Don't worry about mistakes. Don't worry about being organized. Just get everything out of your head, then compare it with your notes. Find the gaps, correct the mistakes, and repeat. This method combines active recall, error correction, and deep learning all at once, which is exactly why it works so well. Finally, there's one factor most students completely underestimate: sleep. Many people think memorization happens while studying, but that's only half the process. During sleep, especially deep sleep, your brain reorganizes and strengthens what you learned throughout the day. In other words, sleep is part of studying. Pulling an all-nighter often destroys the very process that turns short-term information into long-term memory. So if you want better retention, study difficult material a few hours before bed and then get quality sleep. Here's the truth. Your brain is not bad at memorizing. It's just overloaded with passive information. Most people spend their time reading, watching, highlighting, and consuming. But memory is built through retrieval, connection, repetition, and reinforcement. So stop measuring learning by how many hours you studied. Measure it by what you can recall without looking. Because real memory isn't recognition, it's reconstruction. And once you start studying the way your brain actually learns, memorization starts feeling almost If you found this video helpful, please like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more.